Hi, I'm Keith Parker. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Texas, New Mexico. I've been doing all the education and I do all the conferences, the events, and everything you see education-wise, online courses and all that. That is my baby. So that's why I usually jump on these calls.
I'm Shauna Howard. I handle membership and marketing.
Okay, so ladies, where I'm at right now is this is the education portal. There is a direct link for Silverado that Shauna would have sent to you guys. And when you log in as an administrator, this is the kind of portal that you'll see. And this is just strictly for education, not for buying events. So let me separate something for you real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, let me get on my cart. This is the main website. So something not to be confused about, because I get a lot of calls sometimes that you may be in our website. Let me go back over here. So this is online education on the website, which is not the same thing as the package that you guys have. So this is txnmhospice.org. And this is just something for you to know, because if for some reason someone in the office calls and says, I can't log in, the first thing I always ask them is like, where are you at? Typically they tell me they're on this website, and I'm like, oh, that's not the education portal website. So there is a link that Shauna just shared with you guys in the chat that is specific to Silverado, and where you will add all your staff members to all of the educational training offerings that are within that particular education hub, I call it. Angela, if you or Heather may be on this website, there are some secret little fast clicks you could go to, like this education portal here. If you're like on this website and you click education portal, it'll take you to your education portal page directly. Mine takes me to me. And that's just usually those people who are signed up on the website side. But if not, don't worry, no problem. The education portal itself is here, and that is your link. You see the link up here, silverado-txnmhospice.talent LMS. That's how you know that your staff is in the right spot, or that you're in the right spot to add someone. Okay, everybody good? And if I talk too fast, let me know. I'm a Northeasterner. I'm from Pennsylvania. I talk fast. I try to keep it slow. Okay, so a couple of things I just go through. The first thing is that you have a staff member that you want to add. You would just click on the word users. This just shows you who the user is, like what users are underneath the branch. And then you could just click an add user if you wanted to. And the only thing that you have to do is add a first name, a last name, an email address. Now, recently, someone told me that they are now making them add in a username and a password. It never has in the past, but the system will prompt you of what information you need to do. I will say, if it does, best practice for email is just use the first part of the email address as their username, and then just create some simple password for them. But they can always go in and reset their passwords or do whatever. So that's as simple as that. So once that first part of this information is filled out, you just go to the bottom here and you click on the blue button that says add users, and that's an add user. Do you guys by chance have someone that I could add just for an example, just kind of show you how each page goes to the next page?
You could add Heather, or you could add Heather right now.
I was going to say, I don't think I have it. So.
Okay, so you're going to see the magic, okay?
There you go.
Okay, so Heather, I'm going to put you in here. It's like your first name and the last name, K-E-M-N-E-T-Z.
Yeah,
okay.
That is correct.
Yep. What is your email address for me?
Should just be h.chemnitz@Silverado. Or excuse me, I think it's Heather. They do the whole name. Sorry.
silverado.com, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you see how, for me, and I don't know what was happening in the other branch, you see how it automatically added your username? I didn't even do anything. I was just typing your email address and it gave you the username. So that's how this system should work. And all I'm going to do from here, since I put in your first, last, and email address, I'm going to go down and add user. And this is what happens. So it takes you to the next classes, which are your administrator classes. So I don't know which ones you need, but then you would just assign that person the administrator classes, because this is for your administrators. Right, Shauna, this is the admin package.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then you would do your 12-hour yearly for your yearly administrators, or you've got your 8 hours, your 16 hours. Because remember, if you have an administrator, the date of designation, they have to take that 8 hours upon the designation. Then you've got to do your 16 within the first year. Then every year after, you have to do the 12 hours per state law. And that's 558 or 559, sorry, 559.260 and C and D. But if you ever have any questions, just call me. I usually know what to do with these. On that note, just something to keep in mind, and this is just sharing information with you because it has come up in the past. Sometimes I do receive phone calls from an agency who may have forgotten let's say the administrator's forgotten to take their coursework. So let's just say you've gone 816, right? And every year you're 12 years. So Angela, I don't know how long you've been an administrator, but if you've been an administrator for, I don't know, let's just say 10 years. And then all of a sudden you forget to take, in a year, you forget to take your admin course. If you look at law, the state codes, it's kind of hard to determine what you got to do. So I just know it because I have help from some people in the state who've told me. So you really that person, you can't go back and redo it and just say, okay, I did it, because you always has to be done on the date of designation. That's when the 12 hours are due, just like everything else. So if you miss it, that's okay. You have to write in your policy procedures that it was missed, why it was missed, and then the corrective action. Because if a surveyor ever comes in, they need to see that documented in policy, to your policy, not to anybody else's. And so that'll help you to not get a deficiency on that. So that's just some side news just to tell you. Our organization has been around for 44 years, well, 45 years actually. We just held our 44th annual conference, but we've only ever done hospice. That's why people love us, because we have been in this business for a lot of years. And so we do all of the admin training. So I would tell you, just take it because it's all hospice related. Some other things I can show you is if I go back to the homepage. So now we've added you and you're in there and you're good. And Heather, you should have received an email. If not, double check your spam or junk folder. The email will tell you that you've been assigned a course and that you've been added to Silverado.
Silverado, Texas. Yep.
So it should say Talent LMS.
It should say no reply Talent LMS. And once you get that, so Angela, just for you and Heather's knowledge, when you just add that user like I just did, it just sends them an email and tells them to log in, and it gives them all the directions. You don't have to do anything. You just add the course you want them to have, and whoop, they get an email, and then they take care of the rest. Yeah. Some things I like to look at too, you may never use the courses or the groups. I mean, groups are just basically groups. You just create a group. If you want a group of all, your admins, or maybe a group of all your alt admins, you can separate those two by making your own group. So you just add a group. I mean, trust me when I tell you, the system's very self-explanatory, because you just go in, you put in the information, it asks you, and then off you go. One thing I do like to go over, though, is your reports. Reports are very useful because it can tell you, as you start adding folks into there, here's a training matrix. The training matrix basically tells you, as you add staff in here, who's taken what courses in there. So you've got your 12-hour administrator trainings, your 8 hours, your 16 hours. So whatever courses are listed, these are what's in there. You'll see that these little boxes are colored. A green box is that someone's completed it. A yellow box is that it's in progress. And then, of course, the blue box is nobody started this. So as you add people in there, you'll start seeing the list go longer and longer. What I like about this particular training matrix report is to keep track of staff, so you don't have to go into our system. You can click the little drop down here. You can schedule the report to be sent to you at any time that you want to send it. So you set up your parameter in terms of, do I want it every week, every month? And then it just sends you a file that you can easily just look at to see who's completed what courses or not. So it's just kind of a backup for you. And then that way you can just have it on the run. I have them coming to me every month, and that way I can just see it and just kind of follow along, make sure everybody's got what they want. So that's easy for that. Your timeline. This is useful for any time that someone calls or something happens within this system. You'll notice the timelines. As you see, I added Heather to the course. So I can always go back in here by username. I can filter by an event or by whoever the user is. And the course itself, if I wanted to, I don't need it, but just filter how you want to. And this just gives you who logged in, when, and where, and why. I'm not going to say that employees don't lie to me or somebody in this world and say they logged in and did something that they didn't do, but that's okay. I believe everybody. But then this can make it my proof to the pudding, right? And so that's that system as well. So, and the overview is just, how much you have, how many people are active, never logged in, and that's just how you use these reports. I mean, you can drill down like for reporting, testing reports, like if there's like a particular test within a course and you want to see how many people are passing at an X amount, 70%, 80%, 90%, you can report that way. So you just have different types of reporting that you can use, should you need it for any training purposes. Something I will tell you as well is that if you need a course, something added, let's just say that you guys decide, hey Keith, I see, this is a prime example. Last week, an agency called me and said, I only need the HIPAA and the OSHA pulled out of the in-service and a course created. If you have that request, just send it to me. I can work on very quickly because I just know the system, and so I can create a new course for you. Or if you see things in the 8 and 16, you want to bundle up something, or if you have your own stuff, maybe that you want to add to the site, you can do that as well. We are not opposed to you adding any kind of orientation stuff to your site as a course. That's perfectly fine too. The system just holds it all for you. On that note, if I go to the users, and I'm going to go to Heather, and I'm going to go to her courses. I can see her courses this way. And let me show you that again. I'm just going to pull up Heather's information. I kind of need to just want to check on this one person. So I just go to users. I then go to whoever I'm looking for. And let's just say Heather. And then I'm looking at her groups, make sure our courses, sorry, making sure she has courses. She has no groups assigned to her as of yet, but if she gets one added, you'll see it in here. And then files is very, very useful too. You can upload someone's file into this so that they can see it. So let's just say someone's doing a progressive plan, a performance plan, and they want to drop it into here. You can drop it into here to make it your one-all place to put things in. So it's a cloud service. We're not charged extra for it. So we're charged per seats, but we don't charge that we don't pass that on to you guys. But so you can just do that if you want to do that as well. That's another option. And that's pretty much how easy the system is to use.
Great.
Yeah. Now, if you want to I'm just going to go back to the website. Not that I call this the education portal. The website itself is over here. And if you're on this page, this is how you know that you're on our website and not the education portal, because you'll see this part up here. So if you're looking to buy tickets to an event we have, you would just go down here to events and workshops. When you click on that, and I already posted what's coming up this year. So these are the different conferences that we have coming this year. And then if one's live, like we have West Texas coming, my Learn at Lunch is down. Oh,
I'm working on flipping them.
yeah, right, just change that. Yeah, you know how to change those. It's just the edit dates. We'll flip these around. This is a free webinar coming up. This is for members, non-members. So you can always look at our website here because each month I've been doing a webinar with one of our affiliate members who they come on and do some really, it's like a what do we call it? Growth on the go, lunch and learn, 30 minutes,
Yeah,
micro
learn
learning.
at
Yeah.
lunch.
So if you haven't been on one, they're really fun. For those who are on this system, like if you're logged in under this system, as a member, your regulatory and legislative updates are on this page. So you can just go to news and publications. You click on regulatory and legislative. Every week, Shauna is posting something. She's always post. Good job, Shauna. So on here, you can go through and look at your legislative updates week by week. So if you need something in particular, yeah. So every week we're posting something in regulatory update. Legislation, as you know, if you're in session, we always have those updates as well. So we give weekly, bi-weekly updates during the legislative session about all the Senate bills, House bills, anything that's going on in the legislation that you need to be aware of and that may affect hospice itself. It's part of our advocacy part that we do. Yeah, and that's about it. And then if you want to just chat up on the community, you see this TNMHPO community that you just click in there. It opens up into our community world. My page will look different probably from you because I have a lot of groups. But in here, you guys have been added probably to our team members of TNMHPO. If you have, that is a good place to go to. If should you want to ask questions, I post stuff in here. Other people post stuff. It's kind of like a community. So you're just posting, any questions you may have, asking questions, looking for events. I don't know what else we use community for.
There was a
Shauna.
great one right before the big freeze this year where there were ideas for a checklist, for bad
Oh,
weather.
yeah.
I mean, all sorts of different things, and there's an update, like a CMS update, Max will go in there and post it. I mean, all sorts of different things in here, events, conferences.
Max will highlight her post up here too. Max, I don't know if you guys know Maxine Tomlinson. She is the director of government affairs, regulatory. She's a guru. She spent, I don't know, 20 some years at HHSC, and then she's been with this company for about 17, 18 years. So she knows all. Trust me when I tell you that. She is a guru in the knowledge space. So if you have anything regulatory, just call Max. We always say call Max because she will answer the question. A lot of times, I will tell you, a lot of times she knows it off the top of her head. It's very rare I've ever seen her have to be like, I have to call you back about that. But she I don't know. I don't know how she keeps all that in her brain. It's a lot of years of knowledge, I guess. Yeah, and that's pretty much how both those differences in the systems will work.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's
You're
helpful.
welcome.